6 reasons why I have no intentions of ever leaving Utah. After moving here in 2002 from California, I plan to stay put, and today I'm going to share why, so stay tuned. So first things first, as I mentioned, I have no intention of leaving the state, but things happen. Maybe my kids, when they're grown and out of college and on their own, maybe they both leave the state and move somewhere, and I follow them. Things like that happen. But as of right now, I have no intention of leaving Utah. After moving to Utah from California back in 2002, it quickly became home. And so today I want to share with you, rather than all the reasons why you shouldn't move here, why I intend to always stay here. So despite growing up a San Diego girl, my number one thing is the 4 seasons that we get here in Salt Lake City. I absolutely love having the 4 seasons. I love getting the snow in the winter time, the cooler temperature, the fall leaves, all of that. I absolutely love it. Growing up in San Diego, I never got that. I was playing soccer on Christmas Day with palm trees all around me, which it's nice, don't get me wrong, but I do love the 4 seasons, and I'll expand on this more, but it just brings so much more that you can do having 4 seasons. Number 2, since we just talked about the 4 seasons, I have to admit I love them. However, I do kind of get sick of the really long winters, and sometimes I do need to get out of the state once in the winter time. So travel is easy here in Salt Lake City. Now, if you're looking at driving, I can be in Vegas in under 6 hours. California, I can be there in 10 or 12 hours. And if you're traveling by plane, we have nonstop flights to Cancun, Hawaii, Europe. It's easy to get in and out of here with Salt Lake City International Airport being one of Delta's main hubs. You can get to the East Coast in under a 5-hour flight. So it makes it really nice whether you're here and looking to travel for leisure, or if you're going to be traveling for business, this is a great airport. Number 3, the overall environment in Utah. And what I mean by that is we have the big 5. So 5 national parks, the most of any state. So the scenery here is amazing. There is always something to do. People used to say that to me all the time. How did you leave San Diego for Salt Lake City? And I tell people all the time, honestly, I can do more here in Salt Lake City, living here, than I ever could in San Diego, aside from the ocean. So, mountains. I've lived in Denver, and the Denver mountains have nothing on the mountains and how close you feel to the mountains here in Salt Lake City. And you feel safe. There's generally a safe feeling overall in Salt Lake City. I've had people come here and visit and say how clean our downtown is compared to other major metro areas. So just the whole feeling and the environment and all the stuff that comes with the diverse landscape that we have in Utah makes it great. Number 4, and this is a big one that you don't realize until you leave the state or come to visit, the people are generally nice here. Before my mom moved here 5 years ago, she would come up and visit and say that. She's like, I cannot believe how nice the people are. They talk to you in the checkout stands. True story. Just yesterday, somebody sent my mom some mail and it went to the wrong address because the person put the wrong street. And they showed up at my mom's door and brought her the greeting card. It was crazy. People are just nice overall here and go out of their way to do nice things for you. Next, we have a really strong economy. I know there's a lot of talk of inflation, and things are more expensive here in Salt Lake City than if you're moving here from, let's say, Atlanta, Georgia, or North Carolina or something like that. But overall, we have a really strong economy in Salt Lake City area. And we have lots of businesses here, the tech industry, Amazon, so much that feeds into having a strong economy when you look at it compared to some of the other states, and how they're faring with the economy. And I do think a lot of that has to do with, if we look at what happened with during COVID. For instance, my aunt was here visiting up until this morning, and she is from New Mexico. She said they still have a mask mandate in New Mexico. And so we were very, very fortunate during COVID that our whole economy did not collapse and shut down. And we kind of had those freedoms and those choices that a lot of other states did not have during COVID. And I think that played a big factor into us remaining strong. Now, everybody has very strong opinions about what happened during COVID and mask mandates. That's not what this video is about. I'm just simply saying that I do think it was a big factor in us remaining and having a strong economy. People continued to work. And after all, I mean, that was our livelihood. And for instance, in my business, I know other states, the real estate agents got completely shut down and could not work. And, you know, I have a family to support. So being able to maintain my business during tough times was something that was a huge benefit of living here. Next, Utah's kind of known for being a bubble. So let's just get that elephant out of the room. And I have to agree with that. And sometimes living in that bubble of Utah can be a little bit overwhelming. But looking back, I absolutely loved raising my kids in this bubble. I have one in high school that's halfway through high school and one in college. And the experiences that they had growing up here in the Utah bubble, I wouldn't trade for the world. They're both really good individuals, very, very well-rounded, and never would have had those life experiences that they've already had if I had raised them in San Diego, where I grew up. So in that sense, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, we opted to put our kids in private school and keep them in a community that was small and tight-knit with like-minded individuals like us, and made great friends, lifelong friends for both my kids and for us as an adult. And so I would not trade that for the world. So I hope you enjoyed the video today about the reasons why I have no intention of leaving Salt Lake City, Utah. If you have any real estate related questions, or you're looking at moving to Utah and relocating here, I'd love to connect with you. You can shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever method you find is best for you. Reach out to me. I am always here to help, but as always, make it a great day.